Yeah, so welcome to the Karen Marquis Memorial Comedy Show, put on by the wonderful Ethel High School, and my aunt, Cindy Foster, who came up with this idea. And I think we're all very glad that you're all here. So our first act tonight is going to be Cindy Foster herself, and she is just an up-and-coming comedy star. I mean, put words to it, but yeah, she has been doing a comedy show for GCTV. It's called Stanley and Bubba. That's coming along nicely. This New Year's Eve, she's going to be performing at the Calvin Theater in Northampton. So yeah, let's give a nice warm welcome to Cindy Foster.
I've been up on this stage, and it was given some sort of class president speech, I remember, but yeah, 30 years. Actually, I'll be honest, I didn't even know we had an auditorium. I spent most of my time in the office. It's really nice. It's nice. It's nice. So, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, so many people might be thinking, you know, how nice Cindy came and she's doing this and donating the money to the band. They made me. Back in 1983, if you go out to the hallway, you're going to see some trophies and some plaques out there, and you're going to see the Karen Marquis Outstanding Band Member. And if you go about 3 awards down, you're going to see the most attentions by a senior class president in 1 year. It's mine. Yeah, that's my award. So I'm here. In order to graduate, I had to come back 30 years later. Is that Angela Meyer out there? Yeah, in order to graduate, I had to come back 30 years later and do stand-up. They said, oh, you think you're so funny, Cindy Foster? So funny? I'll show you funny. You're going to come back when you're 47 years old. You're going to be so damn tired. Probably not so funny anymore. We're going to put you right up in that auditorium. And so, you know, here I am, because I'm worried they're going to take my diploma away, is why I'm actually here. So, yeah, good times. So, yeah, I was in the office a lot. In fact, I got called down to the office so often. It was, I don't know what they do now here at the Upper High School, but I remember it sounded something like, Cindy Foster, report to the office now. And I go, and all the other teachers were so used to me going to the office, they would like slip attendance things into the door, so I would just carry them on my way. What you need? I'll bring that too, I got that. So people thought I was like one of those like helpful office workers, the student office workers, but I was not. In fact, though, they thought that I was, that I posed actually for the yearbook picture with some of them. It's like Nancy Burnham's over there, and I'm kind of in the middle. It's good. Yeah, and actually, I don't know if, you know, everybody has their married names now, but you're all still like, you know, Kachalfi, Calvi, Vard, Hood, you know. What had happened was Sherry Rushford and I, and this is a true story if you look at the yearbook in 1983, you will see me and Sherry in every club, in every activity, everything. We would hear it. They would be like, go to room 472 for the yearbook staff picture. And we'd be just, nobody checked. We're always in the back. And they're like, go to room 322 for the National Honor Society. I'm standing there by Tom Mann. Like that. And then I was like, oh, here's one. We're like, report to the gym for the boys wrestling picture. They told Sherry to leave, but they're like, oh, yeah, you're fine. Like, me and Jimmy have it on in the back. Oh, yeah. You know, the other thing a couple of us a little earlier here tonight were walking through the halls, and I don't know if any of you remember, back in the 80s, the Teacher's Lounge. Do you remember the Teacher's right? And even the sound of it kind of felt like a nightclub, right? You didn't know what happened in there. And one day I'm like, I'm gonna look. So I took a little peek. First of all, the freaking smoke, right, that came out of that room. It's like, and I'm kind of looking, and it looked almost like what is that? It was like what is that? And I hear, dream me I believe. And I'm looking through the smoke, and I see Mrs. Jolly's from the slot machine. Like, what is going on? Ken Strong's over there at the blackjack table. Myra Calvy's in there serving drinks. Beverage. It's weird. Teachers smoking. So gross. Oh boy. So, and the other thing, I felt, I think there's a 30-year grace period when you can do your confessions of what you did in the high school. So, my partner Lori could not believe I actually did this, but and for those of you who don't know, we actually didn't have computers back in high school. So I went to the guidance counselor's office one day, and I decided to look through my file. So I found my file, and I opened it up. It's huge. It was like, but I went in and I looked, and I'm like, they had our IQ scores, right? So I'm like, I had no clue what the range was. So I took a pencil, and I changed my 100 and something to 200 and something. Swear to you, I did. I'm closing. I'm like, ew. And I thought, okay, that must make me, pretty smart. I had no idea. Like Yale was calling, Harvard. They had me tutoring Angela, Myra. I'm sorry about that, you guys. It's like, what is going on? I do. Yeah. So that was high school. There's a lot more stories to tell, but this is supposed to be family friendly. No swearing, no drugs, no sex. So the fact that I've already talked this long is miraculous within itself. The next thing I want to talk about, because how can you not talk about junior high school? Let's talk about junior high school, okay? Now, you kids are all like, we got the new fancy middle school. It's beautiful, your middle school. Well, let me tell you what we had. When I was a kid, my mother threatened me with reform school. Right? Reform school. Well, if you go over to the old Athol Junior High building, you'll see a couple letters have fallen. Reform school. That's where we were at. And it wasn't like, now with our kids, we're like, oh, Noah, how did that make you feel? How did that make you feel when the gym teacher made you do that, Noah? Very sensitive to our kids, right? We should be. The teachers couldn't pick on none of that. No, it was not like that for us. It was not like that for us. I was thinking about my favorite class in junior high school was Mr. Coyle's bird class, right? Yeah. It's like field trips, like, woo, the owls, it's like, yay, Mr. Coyle. We learned about rocks and minerals and ate natural licorice. She would sell it on the side. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but he did. It was like a quarter bag or something. Nobody questioned any of the crap they did. It was hysterical. So we're going, and I'm like, oh, and I remember that the pigeon was called the common rock dove. Does anyone remember that? He questioned me with pigeon. But the best part of Mr. Coyle was when, and if you were me, you needed the extra credit. So what you had to do, you had to gather dead birds. Anybody remember this? You got extra credit if you put dead birds in a bag and brought them into school. Now, I've got kids. If Hannah's out back picking maggots off the little sparrow to bring into school the next day, I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to say, why is Hannah bringing in this maggot-infested sparrow to school? How does that make you feel, Hannah? But my parents, I don't know. I had I'm like, oh geez, I rock doves, a couple sparrows, an owl, and like everybody's like, we had to walk 10, we did have to walk. Your high path where people smoked and you got your ass kicked. You remember you were scared. Up the junior high path, the tough girls would hop out behind the trees. You're just scurrying with my dead birds trying to get through. So I bring them in, and I personally must have thought about, I don't know, 40 dead birds. What the hell did he do with them? Honestly, like I could see one dead pigeon, you know, we'll explore it. Pick it out. I would pick those things up by their feet. You know, the wipes to wash your hand back then. What he did. And then he had that strange little museum. Do you remember that? Oh yeah. These weird little jars with like two-headed goats or something. But it was never a class. I always found myself in there alone. What the hell is that? Oh my God. Do you remember? It was weird. It was a weird little... And again, I'm sure I came home and said, Mom, there's weird two-headed goats in a jar in this room that I was in by myself. Mom, Cindy, Harry's talking right now. I can't hear anything you say. Harry needs me right now. Stop that. Just go pick up your birds. Leave us alone. What is it, Harry? What do you need, Harry? Harry? Yeah, we'll get to Harry in a little while. It's coming. It's coming. All right, so now we've got junior high. Now, the first year of junior high, I'm going to freak some of you out because I think you may have blocked it out like I did. Okay? Our first year. Now, I've got, you know, Hannah, Anna, you're the age that I was in, junior high, when they presented me with the polyester one-piece romper jumpsuit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Once again, Cindy, how does that make you feel? No, nobody cared how it made you feel. You're in junior high, you're preteen, one boob is bigger than everything's going on. And I'm like, in it. But you know, like, I mean, and then for some of us, you know, it's like I had, you know, when I went shopping, I was like, I had to shop at Sears Husky section. That was my kids were like, we're gonna go to Arrow, and then we're gonna go to Hollister, and then we're gonna spend $7, right? Well, I went to Sears, I got 3 outfits in the Husky section. I'm walking by those poor animals, you know, and I've got the friends who are in the, oh, we're wearing pink flamingo. Pink flamingo, do you see that? Yeah. Where are you? I'm walking by on the way back. I'm like, we're going for the gray manatee. Brown water buffalo. Something over here. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm in it, which should have been gym credit enough for me to get in that thing. So now I'm in it, and there was, I'm so thirsty. It's my show, look at it, I'll just have a drink. It's kind of fun. High school's coming back down. Rule breaker. I'll show you no swearing and talking about naughty things. Okay, so now I'm in my romper. And it's time for gymnastics. Oh yeah. And we're not going to show you how to do the gymnastics. We're going to put you in a line, and we're going to make you run really fast. You go on that little rampy thing, right? And you're going to jump over the horse. Now I'm tucking stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, you're like wishing you said like you were having a period and you like forgot your gym stuff or whatever. But no, I'm in. So I'm like, oh, you know, and there's 2 jocks and then the rest of us, all right? So I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, you know, I'm running so, and it wasn't fast. You know? I'm like running, and I get to that board, and in my mind, I'm like, it's beautiful. It's like Gabby at the Summer Olympics, nothing on me in my mind. So there I am, and I open my eyes, and I'm still on that thing. You know, the gym teacher's like, okay, Cindy. And you got credit, but you're just like, you know, the walk of shame. Evie Meyer comes over, and she's like, what the? Oh my God. All right, Cindy, how does that make you feel? Let's see, like I'm gonna puke and I don't want to come to school ever again. Yeah, thanks, I got 2 friends left now. That's how it makes me feel. Oh, okay, because now it's time for... I'll tell you what it's time for. Square dancing. Oh yeah, it's time for square dancing. Okay. Square dancing, I don't even know what happened once we started square dancing. The story is not about starting square, the actual dance. This is it. The girls are in this line, and the boys are over here. And we start this frantic square dance that goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Promenade right, move over here. Promenade left, move over here. I don't want to do. I do want to dance with Jimmy. No, no, no. Put Cindy in the back of the line. Put Cindy in the back of the line. And we were like counting, and you're like, and it was really good for your self-esteem. And the boys over here going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Cindy Foster. Oh, God, just come on. Okay, here, it's $10. Don't make me dance with her. Don't, so sad. I know, so sad. But that's okay, because I got through that. I won't say the boy's name, but we just stood in the back of the freaking line where there's like, you know what? That's right, I'll square dance with you. Now we're dancing, and if it couldn't get any worse, we were in junior high in the 70s, so they decided, time to do the hustle. The what? You're all gonna line up. Do you remember doing the hustle? We did. Yeah. But it's me doing the hustle, which went something like, oh, God. Cindy, how did that make you feel? Not good. Not good. Oh, because we've got one more fun thing for you at the junior high. You do? Oh, yeah. It's a new game. We're going to time you, and we're going to see how long it takes for you to go through the shower maze. The what? What? The shower maze. We have a maze where you can take your little chubby body and run through with all the pre-adolescent girls. What? Shower maze. Shower maze. Shower maze. Shower maze. Here we have a platform, and my memory is Jane Lynch from Glee being up there in a gym suit, right? And then you're like, go, Foster, go! And I've got my towel, and your goal is don't get wet, don't knock anyone over, and don't get to a dead end. I'm running, all the skinny girls are like, and you're just like running by them. I'm like, and then she's up there, Foster, dead end! Running. I don't know. If Hannah came home and said, Mom, today we did the shower maze at gym class, I'm making a phone call. Dead birds, I'm making a little phone call. Humiliating my daughter in gym class? Hi, I'd like to make an appointment. So I'm saying, we just did it, but oh my gosh, junior high. Yeah. Is my family here? Oh, okay. Oh. Well then. Guess we know what time it is now, don't we? All right. Now, growing up, my parents had nicknames for myself, my sister, and my brother. And my sister's nickname was Angel. Angel. Harry's nickname, who knows Harry? Anybody know Harry Foster here? I love Harry. Harry, what's your nickname? Precious. That's nice. My dad, hi Dad. Hi Dad. My dad, Ola. Ola. Okay. That's okay. Ola. And I said to my mom, I'm like, Mom, I actually got invited to do stand-up at the Calvin Theater, New Year's Eve. Mom, Cindy, did you know that Harry grew 3 different types of tomatoes this summer in his garden? No, I didn't know that Precious did that. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Mom. And Lori knows, we were over at my parents' house one time, and I said, Mom, do you have my high school jacket? And, because I'm sure I stole somebody's letter because I didn't do anything in high school. Letters all over my jacket. I wasn't even the man. I was nothing. I got letters, medals, National Honor Society, boys wrestling. Try this one. Everybody squint right now. You squinting? Do I not look like a middle-aged, overweight lesbian version of Scott Baio? Chachi. Oh, God, we might want to get me down soon. Okay, so Lori and I are over at Marianne and Harry's house with Angel and Precious. And Ola. And I asked them, I said, do you have my jacket? You know, I'd love to show Lori. Maybe she'd wear it. So Lori used to be my primary care provider. That's how we met. I always think that's a funny statement. So that's a late night show. That's late, yeah. So I said to my mom, yeah, she goes, you know, I don't know. So my mother's she goes down the cellar. She's climbing over boxes and mold and stepping on my jacket to get a key. And she took this key and she went upstairs where she has this magical, special room. Yeah, you know what she took out of it? You opened it up and it was like Walt Disney was still on ice in there, Michael Jackson, there was a lot going on. And she came downstairs in full, I swear to you, this is a true story, just happened a month ago. She comes downstairs and she's got Harry Foster's Cub Scout uniform when he was 7, all in plastic with all of his badges on it. Now I'm asking for my jacket, which she stepped on, and she comes down with Precious's Cub Scout uniform. It's really good. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Mom. Yeah. Now who would? We got any Camp Waiaka people out here? Oh, hello, Mrs. Buck. Camp Waiaka, Jean, I know you, yeah. Because remember I missed you and I drove my bike all the way to New Hampshire to see you that time? Yeah, because Precious obviously was going out, he had to have a ride somewhere, so I drove to New Hampshire on my bicycle to Camp Waiaka. Now growing up, we didn't get to go to Camp Waiaka. We had a camp, why can't you go to Waiaka? We did. I grew up in the Hood on Marble Street. I don't know if you guys know where that is in town. Anybody? Oh, there we go. Yeah, family, that's why I say. Yeah, a hood. So Harry and I would take, you know, you guys are in New Hampshire in this beautiful woods with buildings, and Harry and I would make bamboo sticks. And we get our little, you know, camp, why can't you go to Camp Waiaka set up? And then, you know, and Jeannie Uvard, she'd be over there swimming in this pristine lake. Camp Waiaka. I'm over in the Millers. She's like, oh, capture the flag. Like, capture the river rat. It was very similar. She's like, oh, we're making ceramics in God's eyes for crafts. Crafts that will bring home to families that care. I love you, Mom. You know I do. You're a good sport. And then Harry and I were like, oh, we can make macaroni art. So we made our macaroni art. And then Jean's like, we're gonna have a really good lunch here, and carrot sticks, and I don't know what you had, like peanut butter and jelly. A nice lunch. Harry and I are eating our art project. Oh my God, this is so good. Isn't it, Harry? Yes. And then Jean at the end, she's like lining up for all of her awards. Camp Waiaka, medals. I'm over there lined up for my tetanus shot from playing in the Millers River. It's fun. Love that. So my mom, who's such a good sport, when I was in 6th grade, my mother, I need a drink on this one. Okay, times were different. Like, we talked to our kids. Most of us, Jean. You know, we talked to our kids about stuff. My mother pulled me up to her bedroom, which was this beautiful powder blue paneling. Right? It was beautiful. Like, you couldn't go, it was like special to be in there. Unless you were Harry or my sister, but no, I'm in. And my mother has this book, and it's like how babies are made. And then she sets it down, like, it seemed gently, but then she just kind of looked at me and she's like, read this. And she's all like, pissed. She walks off, shuts the door. So I'm looking, and I need help because I'm confused. They've got Christy McNichols up on this wall. Scott Baio and Jimmy up are over here, though when you think back, they really look like soft, beautiful butch women, didn't they? They were so pretty, those boys back then. So I need help, but no one's talking to me. So I opened up the book, and it was like cartoon. You might remember this book, some of you. It was like almost like cardboard cartoon. Yeah, right? And I opened it up, and there was a seed. And then there was a flower. It's like, oh. And there might have been words, but I graduated from here, so I don't know, but it's so wrong. Oh. So the next page is like a rooster, and he's like on top of a chicken. I'm like, okay, it's not making any sense to me whatsoever, but okay. And I flip, and now it's getting a little bigger and a little more vibrant because now we have a dog on top of another dog. All right. Okay, so then it skips. And then we've got a picture. We've got a picture of the woman's body over here. And we've got a picture of the male's body over here, which seemed 3D to me, but I know that it wasn't. Got a lot of questions, and nobody's in this room to answer it. None. I'm sure Harry knew everything. Sister. So then, the next thing, you close the book, and there's a man, and he's laying in a bed, and he's like this. So he's going, he's got his arm around the lady, he's like, and then she's going, which years later, I'm like, I get that, but I didn't at the time. So, I didn't let a boy put his arm around me for like 6 years because I thought that's how you got pregnant. Nobody told me anything. Like, no, get off me! Get your hand off me! What the hell's wrong with you? God, now I made it. So then, 2 days later, I'm sure Harry was on some Boy Scout jamboree with my dad. Yeah. Sure he was. My mom's like, you're having your period. Right? I'm like, okay, I'm having my period. So my mother's got me back in the powder blue room. And you know what happens. My mother looks at me and she says, this is a pad. Now, I'm old. Now the pad that she took out was about this big. And there were 2 attachments to the end, which made it like this. So she's got it out like this. I'm in 6th grade. I'm horrified. We're not talking. There's no eye contact. I don't know if Harry knew about this. I have no idea who knows. Who knows about this? So she's holding it up, and I love my mom, but she's looking at me, and you talk about period or sex, and she's so angry, period. Angry, you're having a period! So she's holding it up. Now, I don't know what is going on. And then she's like, this is a belt. Like a belt? Now, I'm thinking like Myra and Angela are the cool girls, so they're like, oh no, we didn't have the belt. What is she talking about? Okay, well, I had the belt. So here's like this. And she's so mad. Period. Makes me so mad. So she took the belt out, and like Jackie Chan, my mother goes, and she holds it up, age, and he was looking horrified. It's the first time she's heard it. But I'm going to talk to you about it later. I'm going to share it and then ask you, how did that make you feel, Anna? Poor kid, she's like, I'm never going back to school. Be Cindy Foster's daughter. Oh. So my mother's holding it up. She hands it to me, and she goes, here, put this on. So I'm like, oh my God. So she left it there. I didn't know what to do with it. I'm climbing into it. Got it on, over my pants, so I had to figure that out. Now I'm trying to walk. I'm at the junior high school. It's probably time for gym class. You know, oh no, it's not too obvious, you know, it's, oh my God, my God. And then you leak through and you, oh, the boys don't know we're tying our sweaters around ourselves. Myra, can I borrow your sweatshirt? No problem. And then the worst part, dear God, and you know what? Every woman in this room has done this. What do you think of that? That's a pretty brave statement coming from Cindy Foster. Who? Okay. All right. So now you've started. You have nothing. Okay? It's time for homemade maxi pad. My pads were so long, I extended it out. Like, now I have it. My little homemade pad. I don't have a belt, so I don't have a chance in hell, but so I just kind of slip it in. I'm running. There's Andy Susie. Hi, Andy. So I'm running. You shouldn't run when you have a homemade maxi pad. Because what happens? It starts riding up the front. Yeah. And I'm casually at my desk trying to figure a way to just move it. Now it's done, but now it's coming up the back. And I thought that was bad. Now the bell rings. It's always gym class. It's either dead birds or gym class. That's all I can remember about junior high. So now I'm running. It's slipping out of my leg. Cindy, the bell rang, you're gonna be late. No, I'll be right there. Oh, boy. Alright, so, you know what else is really cool? 30 years later to be here on the stage and be an out lesbian, which is very cool. Things have really changed for our kids here, which is really awesome. But I'm here to tell you that legally, I'm not a lesbian. Puzzled, huh? Puzzled. So legally, lesbians have to play softball. Like we do. Like you really have to play softball. I can't. I can't hit, I can't run, I can't throw. And because of that, I had to seek a waiver, which I did get. It's hard, but they gave me the waiver. And I started thinking, I'm like, oh, thank God they gave me the waiver, because I would have ended up on the island of misfit lesbians. Right? It's sad there. And I kind of pictured myself in a box. And it'd be something like this. Hi, my name's Cindy, and I'm a lesbian who can't play softball. And then over here, well, hi, my name is Marge. I'm a lesbian that can't grow a mullet. Crack myself up on that one. All right, I got one more story to share, and it's because it's my mom's favorite story and my girlfriend's favorite story. My dad's worried it's about him. He's going, no, it's not. It's all right. Okay, so even though I had the genius IQ, which we talked about earlier, I had decided that since Harry was getting all the attention, I would just pack up and join the military, is what I did. And so in 1984, I was in basic training, and we were in a meeting, and I had to use the restroom. And to do anything in the military basic training, you have to ask for permission. So I was standing, saluting. Sir, Airman Foster reports, I need to use the bathroom, sir. Get in there, Airman, go to the bathroom. So there I go. It's fine, I went to the bathroom. Now we had these belts with these metal things, these metal belt buckles that you kind of jammed into it. And so I flushed the toilet, went to put my belt on, and the belt, I swear on my children's lives that this is a true story, my belt buckle flipped off and went in the toilet. Now, for those of you who haven't been in the military, if you kind of do this with your eye the wrong way, you are in so much trouble. My belt buckle just went down the toilet. Now, I do what anybody would do at this point. I dive, I'm in, I've got the green fatigues, I'm feeling, there's nothing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go. I have to go tell them. All right, so I go over and I stand at attention in front of 30 women and these 2 drill sergeants with a dripping arm, and I say, Sir, Airman Foster reports, sir, I flushed my belt buckle down the toilet, sir. Yeah, I did. Those women, it's funny, we're so scared, no one's laughing. No one's even looking at me. And he says, Airman, you get your ass back in there, you got that belt buckle. So I said, yes, sir. So I gotta go in, and I know I'm not gonna find the belt buckle. Like, in my mind, I know it's gone, right? But I'm not gonna go back and tell him I can't find it. So I'm back, the same toilet, and basic training was in San Antonio, Texas. I've got my arm in the toilet, through some pipes, up through the sewer, up by the river walk, going, oh my God, where's my belt buckle? Is it right here? Is it my belt buckle? Oh, my belt buckle. Belt buckle. Nothing, you know, nothing, couldn't find it, so yeah, I think that's my time. I could go on forever. This is really fun, and I, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate all of you coming out and supporting this. I'm sure Karen is looking down and smiling, so thank you. I'm going to bring my nephew, Jacob Foster, back out here.
It's really giving up for Cindy. Up next, we have a very special woman. She goes by the name of Roma Hanley. She is trained in voiceovers, so I thought that was cool. You may have seen her on Jerry Caruso's Comedy Hour. She is really funny, and here she is, Roma, everybody.
I haven't really used one of these yet. I usually do one of these and just come over. Good job. You may not be able to tell just looking at me, but I was actually one of the cool kids in high school. I was in the band. I was actually so cool, I played bassoon in the band. Any bassoon players out there? It's probably just like in the band. You know they're out there, you just can't hear them. Playing bassoon in the marching band's a little tricky though. So I actually played snare drum when I was in the marching band. It's always nice to actually have someone who actually knows how to count in the drum line, so they like to have me there. Ooh, I'm sorry. Sorry to any of the drummers out there, I actually love drummers. My dad's a professional drummer, so no jokes there, sorry. I actually love my dad, and I actually love my cats even more than I love my dad. my cats almost as much as I love them. They really just have a perfect life. They do whatever they want, whenever they want to, and I would love to do that. It's actually my cranky, cantankerous cat that is my role model. I would love to be like her. Anytime anyone gets in her territory, she just goes, and if they don't back off, she gives them a swat across the nose. Can you imagine? I would love to do that. I'd be sleeping in my cubicle at work, and Alice in accounting would come down to bug me. If she didn't back off, I'd give her a swat across the nose. Or even I'd be out in the backyard, playing around in the garden. Here comes Betsy the busybody, who wants to give me some more gossip. Just give her a good and if she doesn't back off, she gets a swat on the nose. The big reason that I envy my cats is I'm wicked lazy. I would love to just sit around sleeping all day long like they do. Instead, I have to go to work. I'm actually so lazy that I've stopped wearing skirts to work because putting on pantyhose every day has become more like an aerobic workout. And if there's one thing I hate more than going to work, it's exercising. I think the laziness actually runs in my family. My dad was famous for leaving entire syllables out of words because he didn't want to waste the air. He had this black work bag that he carried everywhere, but he referred to it as his blag. And at the holidays, there were many, many toll booth takers who were wondering what the heck Thanksgiving meant when he was trying to say Happy Thanksgiving. I was actually just with my family at Thanksgiving, and I have this one aunt who is a great cook, and that's fantastic. She loves to do it. But she also likes to recite recipes to you. If you actually say, that was delicious, instead of just saying, thank you, she says, oh, it was so easy. You just take half of an onion, and you saute that up, and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said I liked it. I didn't say I wanted to make it. That's all just way too complicated for me. Cooking for me is basically beep, 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 ding. That's good enough for me. And if I really want to have some gourmet food sometime, beep, 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 beep. Hi, I'd like to place an order for takeout. Really, the most complicated home-cooked meal for me is chips and salsa. I figure it's perfect. You've got the grains in the corn chips, you've got the dairy in the sour cream, and you've got the vegetables in the salsa. What more could you ask for? Top it all off with a peanut butter cookie or a piece of cheesecake, and you've got your protein. Makes sense to me. Really, in my world, cook is not a verb. Cook is a person. I have lots of words like this, words that are nouns but not verbs. One of them is dust. I have lots of dust. I don't dust. I own an iron, but I obviously don't iron. And right next to the iron in the closet is the vacuum. The vacuum doesn't do anything. One other thing besides being lazy, I'm also rather short, hence the microphone up at my eyebrow. I'm actually 5 feet and 3/4 inches tall, which I'm very proud of. And really, when I shrink down like my little Nana did, that 3/4 of an inch may be the only thing keeping me from having to sit in a booster seat to drive. And I'm pretty sure they don't make booster seats in plus sizes. That actually reminds me, I got a catalog from Land's End the other day. On the front cover it said, cords are back, now in plus sizes. Just reading that, I could almost hear the zip, 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 zip. But these clothing designers, they design for plus size women, but they assume that we're all 6 feet tall with giant gazongas. Last summer I was trying on a bathing suit, which I know every woman in the world hates to do. But of course, at my size, I'm trying on the big, fat lady granny bathing suit with the skirt down to here and the preformed. Only this one, I put it on and there's these pouches down here. I'm trying to figure out, what is this? Are you supposed to put your snacks in here to take them to the pool? And then I hear
also appeared on the Jerry Caruso Comedy Hour. And here she is, everybody, Dina Briggs.
What he said, because I'm that nervous. Maybe I'll drink this other water too. Did he tell you I was a bartending astronaut? Because I could be. I hate having these things up here. If you can't hide behind it, what's the point? Nobody's hiding behind that. So, in case he didn't tell you my name, it's Dina. Dina, Dina, Bobina, Banana, Fana, Fofina, Me, Ma, Momina, Dina. See, now I do that purposely, so no matter how desperately hard you try to forget me, not happening. Cindy asked me to come on this comedy charity show for the band. And she sold it really hard. She was like, oh, it's so important to me, and she's going on and on. The band is so needy, and no one thinks of them, no one supports them. And she painted this really desperate picture of the band. I mean, I thought at any moment, Sally Struthers and Rob Reiner were going to come up behind her, and they were going to be like, Dina, won't you please support the band? For only 15 cents a day, you could keep this clarinet player in #2 quality reeds. If you could spare $1 a day, the percussion section could all get new drum heads, and their rat-a-tat-tat wouldn't go boop-boop-boop. But if you only had 10 cents a day, we could at least get rags for the horn section, so their spit doesn't dribble out to the floor, making a biohazard puddle for the rest of the band. How could I say no? You know, I said, all right, yeah, I'll do it. She says, oh, by the way, it has to be a clean show. What? I don't have any clean material. I'm almost 50. We don't do that in my world. She said, you like a challenge. It'll be fine. I said, I like it when I'm funny, and so does the audience. Yeah, I don't know about this. She goes, no, you're going to do this. So I go home and I tell my husband, I got to do a clean show. He's been very supportive of my comedy, but he looked me straight in the eye and he said, can you call in sick? I said, I see Cindy twice a week because we do Stanley and Bubba together, and no, I ain't gonna fly. She'll hang me. You've seen Cindy mad. It is not something you want to be on the receiving end of. So he thought a minute and he goes, can you call in not funny? Because you won't be. Last time I told Cindy, I'm not feeling funny tonight, something terrible happened. She turned into like this sergeant mom persona. You know, like she got all mom on me, and I felt like I was 6 years old, and no matter what she said, I was going to just follow those orders no matter, you know, no questions asked. So she goes, I'm like, I don't feel funny. She gets all sergeant mom. She reaches in her purse, pulls something out, hands it to me, and goes, take this. I'm like, and then she said, that was a clown nose. You were supposed to put it on. It would make you feel funny. I said, don't worry, I feel funny. Then she said something really strange. She said, I want that back. You want that back? Because most people put stuff on their nose or around their nose or over their nose to not smell bad. But you want that back to put back on your nose at some point? She very matter-of-factly said to me, it'll clean up. Now how could she be so confident? How many other people has she tricked into eating that very nose and then gotten it back? Now I was feeling really funny. Needless to say, she didn't get the nose back. It's been over a week. She's asked for it twice. I told her that she's old enough to know better than be sticking her nose that far in someone else's business. And she was just going to have to deal with those consequences now. Funny thing is, I think I might still have the nose, like stuck to a piece of gum that I swallowed years ago or something. The dog jumped on my stomach the other night in bed and I heard, Now, at my age, that could come from a lot of places. And it could come from the dog. But it just made me think, maybe that nose is still in there. I don't know which one's mine anymore. Oh well. I had my tetanus shot earlier today. Oh, but I seem to be leaking. Don't slip in that, Jerry. So, I couldn't get out of the show. And you're all wonderful people. You seem to have a great sense of humor, and that's a really good thing, because I'm not that funny. So here we are, and I said, well, I got to have all new material, because I don't have anything that's G or PG. And so I said, well, this is for the band, right? You guys love the band? So I'm gonna talk about band. Because I was in band. I was a first chair clarinet. Yeah, I was really popular in school too. Actually, it's funny to hear Cindy say that she was in detention a lot, because I hold the record as the valedictorian who was in detention the most in my high school in Michigan. And mine was mainly because I was not happy about my First Amendment rights being suspended. Just like I'm not happy about it now. Feels a little bit like detention. So, first chair clarinet, I remember my first solo went something like this. And the band director was like, he was very impressed. He was like, and I knew he just wanted to say wow, but he had to keep pointing, you know, like that. And after the show, a lot of people came up to me and mentioned it. No one said solo or soloist, but I knew what they meant. They were talking about it. And my family was, you know, they were proud of me. Out in the parking lot, and met up with them, and they're like, we heard you, we heard you, we heard you. And I was like, yeah, that's my solo. Yeah, very cool. You know, because I'm saying, if you make noise that no one else is making, and everybody stands out, that's a solo, right? That's what I'm saying. So I was thinking about Cindy's story about the band needing support, and how, I was thinking, how could we do this ongoing? And I thought, well, you know, maybe band should be considered a sport. I mean, after all, it is athletic marching band. You got to be out there, you're moving, you're blowing in your horn, you're holding up something heavy. That's kind of athletic. And then you got the whole coordination part. You got to be in formation, you got to keep the song, you got to keep the beat. There's a lot of teamwork involved in that. And then, of course, it's dangerous. Has anybody been in marching band? Yeah, it's dangerous out there. I mean, think about it. How many of you as parents tell your kids, oh, you want to go outside and play? Make sure you shove something metal or plastic or wooden in your face, right up your mouth before you go out there and run around. And then make sure there's a whole lot of other kids running around too with stuff stuck in their faces. And then if you can manage it, stick something pointed right off the top of your head while you're doing this, a nice plumey thing. It's got feathers, but it's a wire. Come on. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a dangerous sport. So then you're like, you know, you're like all these other people are around you. And if you've ever marched near a tuba, when they start doing their dance, it is dangerous. I am not kidding you. And you think just getting hit by a tuba would be the worst part, but I'm telling you, if they forget to remove their mouthpieces when they start doing that, they're little missiles. I got a concussion. I wasn't alone. And the drummers with their drumsticks and their hands are cold, they're throwing drumsticks. We had all kinds of injuries when I was in marching band. In fact, the PTA was running a pool to see who would get more concussions, the band or Muhammad Ali and George Foreman combined. So, I had my concussion, and you know, everybody thinks football is so tough, but I'm telling you, football players go down on the field, the stands get quiet, girlfriends start screaming and crying, coaches and medics run out on the field, parents are all, oh, and then the kid gets up and everybody's clapping, it's so wonderful. You go down in marching band, you don't get yourself right up right away, the band tramples you. The stands couldn't care less. They barely pay attention. If they do see it, they start laughing. The band director run out to help. Your parents are like not even there most of the time because it's cold, right? You're just down there. I remember when I got my concussion, I came to, I'm on the sidelines, had one on my face. Back is all covered in grass stain from where they dragged me off the field after the performance, and I was just lucky that I didn't have cleat marks because they got me out before the football players came back out. That's what happens in band. It's a very dangerous sport as far as I'm concerned. I remember our worst injury while I was in high school was a trombone player who was supposed to make a right turn, made a left turn, extended slide right into 2 flutes and a piccolo. They went down, we were in close formation, so they got trampled. There was no getting them back up. Fortunately, they did get a medic, and there was still laughter when we were putting them into the ambulance, because the slide was still in their faces. You couldn't get it out. So you had to put them in all 3 at once into the ambulance. I know, kids are just cruel. They came back to school about a week later. They had their bandages off, but they all had this black stripe right across their eyes. And kids are cruel. We call them the Raccoon Sisters. Ricky, Mickey, and Tiki. Tiki was the piccolo player. She had to get a new piccolo because we never found it. And Tiki would march like this. She'd go like that. She would like, because she never really recovered from the whole accident. So we had to go to competition. We had to learn a whole new routine. We had to learn Michael Jackson's Thriller so we could all stay in time with Tiki. You know. We're all out there like zombies. Stay away from Tiki. And it was good of her to even come back. The sad part was, in school she would walk around normal, like it wasn't a problem. It was just during band practice that she would be like that, except if she saw that trombone player in the hallway. And the strangest thing was, when she would see him and she would go like this and the band wasn't playing, you would hear and we weren't sure if she was like consciously whining or if that piccolo was in there somewhere, making that noise. Love band. So we think that band should be a sport, but I thought on it even more and I realized it can't be a sport. There's no way to name the MVP. If you can't name an MVP, you can't have a sport. What would you do for band? I mean, you couldn't name the guy that played the longest, because when the song's over, the song's over. You can't name the one that plays the loudest, because it'd be like when Horton hears a who. You'd have all the hooers, you know, just making all kinds of noise. It'd just be obnoxious. And you can't name the MVP of the one that plays the most notes. All the woodwinds would be out there trilling till their little fingers got all numb and all this like nerve damage. And you'd have all the percussion drum rolling like crazy. They all have carpal tunnel syndrome and tennis elbow, and all the kids are getting surgeries. And the poor brass section, they're over there triple tonguing their instruments. You know what happens to the brass section. Their lips get all puffed up and bloody and bruised. And then they go home and realize they're not going to get to triple tongue anything else ever again. It's just too much to take. Well, there's only, that's all I got about the band. I can tell you there's one other thing I don't like about high school. Career placement tests. Anybody ever take those? I didn't take them when I was in school. You just answer all these dumb questions, and there's a bubble sheet, and there's all this stuff going on. It's like, I don't even know what this means. And they spit out this thing that tells you what your career should be. They told me I should be in the clergy. I'm thinking, how can a state school tell you that? They don't even ask you if you have a religion, anything like that. They don't ask you if you swear like a sailor. They don't ask you if you're boy crazy. Nothing like that. But then the weird thing is, so I'm like, clergy, all right. Well, somehow the churches get a hold of this. I get a call from a pastor. He says, oh, I hear you're ripe for the clergy. Right, dude, I ripened, I was picked, I was eaten. I'm pretty much just a decor now. He hung up on me. Then I got a call from a priest. I just stopped him right away. I said, that's just one habit I'll never get into. Yeah, thanks. So I just think, why not make these career placement tests relevant? Ask good questions, right? Like, are you flatulent? I mean, if you have a lot of gas, this might be something good. We could recommend a career for you, like lumberjack. I mean, if you don't know if a tree makes a noise when it falls in the woods, then, you're pretty safe out there, right? Maybe you think your gas is really funny. You could be an underwater welder. That way you're like all contained, you just laugh all day in your job, no, it doesn't bother anybody else. What if you're you can run really fast and you enjoy adrenaline rushes? Maybe you could be a bomb technician or a beekeeper, right? These are the kinds of questions that make sense to me. Things that really, really matter. So, that's my deal on high school. I hope you're having a good time. Certainly it's a pleasure being here. Take care.
Briggs, everybody. So awkward. Yeah. I remember a lot of rehearsals in this auditorium. So I'm a theater kid. Shout out to theater kids. Ooh, yeah. I saw Carla Stanley's in the audience. Carla does the costumes. So, yeah. Moving right along to our final performance. You might know him from the AOTV show, Jerry Caruso's Comedy Hour. He has taught all of the previous performers. He teaches at GCC, Massachusetts, Quinsigan. He's a brilliant man. He's also open for some major names like Larry the Cable Guy or Lisa Lampanelli. So he's pretty great. And give it up for Jerry Caruso, everybody.